Welcome back, guys. And today we're going to be doing. I've been asked to do quite a lot of tutorial stuff, mainly because there's a lot of tutorial stuff out there. There's nothing that really captures just like raw footage. Um, you'll get videos that sort of jump, edited, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to do however long this takes. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to forgive me today as well. I'm very ill at the moment, so if I start coughing, I'm going to try and mute it, but I don't want to edit this at all. I want you to see the pure tutorial, how to get a build together to get into the game. And I'm going to show you little bits and bobs that get you going. Um, One thing you need to understand as well with Albion is that you can do whatever you want. It's not, there's no set rules. There's people in chat that will, and I think a lot of people will agree that the, the chat is very toxic. People have very set views. If you're not doing something, or you're not doing something in a different zone or certain zones, then you're not playing the game properly, and that's not the case at all. You do whatever you want. You do what you want to do, but I'm just going to show you basic bits and bobs that get you going in the game. And we're starting off at the moment with a tutorial. So I haven't edited it, but I have skipped. So I recommend that you strongly do the tutorial anyway, if you're new or if you're coming back, mainly because you get 3 days of premium for free, which is like extra 50% points, extra 50% bits and bobs again, and it's handy to have. The tutorial only takes maybe 5-10 minutes, if that. So anyway, we're going to kick into it. Like I said, this is going to be completely raw footage, unedited. There's nothing so there are going to be blank spots where I'm not talking and whatnot. So after you've done the tower scene and you've killed the three metis on the bridge, you'll come to this little encampment here. You'll speak to this woman, and she'll tell you to go buy a donkey. So basically, you will get these in every main village. These are your auction house or your marketplace. This is where you buy everything and sell everything within the game. She's obviously asked you to buy a mule. You just equip that. It's a right click. So to access this, it's just A, it's down here. And then she'll ask you to mount the mule. And there you go, job done. So throughout this base of um, like learning, they're going to ask you to make a few bits of gear. And they're going to teach you how to craft, and they're going to teach you how to do bits and bobs again. So you'll get all of these kind of people around every main town as well. So these are your crafting people. So in main cities, you'll have they won't be owned by NPCs. They'll be owned by other people who have bought the plot of land, and then they're renting out their services of each kind. So you've got, like I say, skinning, stoning, all everything you can think of in the game is owned by players for players. Um, so let's have a look. They want us to build a pickaxe and an axe. So it's simple enough. The basic beginner items when it comes to crafting and gathering are all just pick up. There's no tools required, and you just click on them. Job done. Get enough. So the way I'm going to walk through this today is with one of my main builds that I use on my main account for speed running corrupted dungeons. And the only reason I'm going to go through the corrupted dungeons, which I'll explain that all later on, is because for myself, a speed run on the corrupted dungeon is probably one, not the quickest, but one of the quickest ways to acquire all your fame and to acquire, a fair bit of gold and a fair bit of money. So I can lead you on that right path of at least gaining money, gaining fame, and then you can make your own decisions later on. So they're asking us to go into the forest now to just complete a little bit more. So every time you just press A, mount up on your mule or your donkey. You can obviously get more better pets in the later distance, bats and wolves and bears and all sorts. But with the crafting and the gathering, as you can see, we were farming rough logs before, so we've upgraded to like birch logs. So for this, you will need a tool and these go up. So the higher the tree or the skinning ability or your stonemason or anything like that, you'll need a better tool that comes with the better logs, and etc. etc. I think that'll do. Thank you very much for the help. So I'm going to try and give you little tips and bits as we go. So basically, there I wasn't clicking on the mob. When I start my fighting, which is how I do most of it, is instead of clicking, I'll press spacebar. So you've got spacebar as an attack. You got all your spells down here. So when you get into it, obviously PvP and stuff and corrupted dungeons, you just keep moving around as you're pressing spacebar to auto attack. From what I can gather as well, there is like most of your attacks. I believe the sword takes about, is it 1.5 seconds, maybe a little bit slower. But it's kind of like World of Warcraft. If you keep moving, you can shave that 0.1 because of bugging the system and all that kind of stuff. How the game renders it and whatnot. That looks cool. So what have we got? So they're asking you to gather, obviously starting items, wood, skinning tools. They'll ask me to go back out in a minute and farm some, or do some mining and etc. etc. There you go. Find some copper and some cotton fiber. So can I see the top map? Yeah. So basically, how gathering works for beginners is you'll have these areas here, like this one. So what I was talking before about NPCs and people owning shops. So the NPCs will own the beginner one, obviously, but you'll have all of these shops here. So you can, I don't think you can go into it now. So every map will show you obviously what's in it. So every shop will have a certain. The only way I can do this is explaining it through a main thing, I think. So if we go to this main city here, see you can see all of these people. So these are people owned. As you can see there, the owner is Ruggiero, the owner there is Stranger X, and these own tanning shops. And then you can see there's the durabilities, the food. I wouldn't worry anything too much about that, mainly just for yourself on how available it is, sorry, and how much they're charging you to use their shop. So don't be caught out if you go to a tanning place or a forge or a toolmaker, and they have excessive prices. Just try and find another one. If there's not one in that city, I know it's a bit of a pain in the arse, but travel to another city. So you've got 5 main cities to begin with. You've got Martlock, Bridgewatch, Lyndhurst, Fort Sterling, and Thetford. You've got a main one in the middle, which is pure PvP. As you can see, they all go red, apart from Carleon. So you've got numbers next to them as well, as you can see. So you'll start in a tier 2 area. So this is then filled up with tier 2 mobs. We go to this one instead. So you can't see anything on the map. So, but you've just seen, obviously, you've pressed on a tier 3 map. So we're in a tier 3 area. So you've got tier 3 mobs. You've got tier 3, as you can see in the top here. You've got tier 2 and 3. Forgive me, I'm ill. I can't think. What am I saying? Wood chopping, stoning, and mining. And then different cities, different maps will have different farming capabilities as well. And these little gem things here as well will also show you if there's any chance of these being basically it's good, exceptional, and epic. So if we go to this one over here, there you go. There's a 9% chance that you will find these rated resources of wood, leather, and cotton in this area, which obviously sell for a higher price. You can craft then good, exceptional, and epic. Excuse me, epic gear. Right, so the reason they're asking us to go out and farm some different bits and bobs is obviously to get you into the game but they also ask you eventually to craft your own stuff. So this is simple. There's nothing to it. You've just got to click on the bit, and away you go. So most mining will be around mountain areas. Most cotton will be on trees next to mountain areas. Most trees will be all over the map, obviously. The only one I find a bit difficult every now and again is the animal skinning, which unless you find like a little patch where you can sort of skin for yourself, it does get a little bit difficult, but not maddeningly difficult. It's just other people are obviously farming as well, so you've got that in there as well. You know, bear in mind that obviously there's thousands of people playing this game. There's no cross map or dipping in and out of server bits either, so everyone's the same. Everyone's doing whatnot, and so you've got all your materials now from here. You're going to have to make them because at the moment you've got them in their raw form. So for a smelter, you'll go here and you can decide how many you want to smelt, and then this is the estimated market value of what you're going to make. If you end up buying premium down the road, like a monthly subscription, or you end up buying it for silver if you can afford it, because I doubt it, but I'd recommend buying premium if you can. You get a thing called focus, which can increase how much raw material you use less, so it will like decrease the outcome of how many copper ore or whatever you're crafting you get, so you'll get more because it's percentage based, and then the skill and the fame that comes with that, so you'll get more just in general overall for everything. So we're just gonna, you do the same thing again. There's your raw materials there. That's what you're crafting. Then we just go down the list and craft everything we've just picked up. So there we go. Give him the items. Okay, so this woman. Complete. Right, so she's going to tell you to go to the outpost now and still. So this is where you end up earning a bit of points, which is this tree here. So this tree, let's skip that and I'll explain it to you instead. So this tree is massive. It goes on for days with all the, as you can see, all the skills and points and whatever you can do within the game. It's absolutely huge. Excuse me. So you've got this main one coming down the middle. So these are this is your adventurer one. Okay, I know that says at the top. But what this does is you get points for this for everything you do in the game. So PvP, PvE, farming, crafting, whatever. This is where you get it, and this is where you get all your mount upgrades, your wolf, your birds, owls, all your cloaks, your different cloaks, and obviously you get different stages of it until you get to tier, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, 8, where you can own that if you want to. So all that happens with that. Don't try and what's the word? Don't try to earn that, because it will happen automatically. You will always get fame to always level that up. It's the first thing that will potentially hit the top anyway. But you have another big one. Where's it gone? There it is. Once you start doing combat, you'll get this one here, which is the Reaver, which goes all the way up. It's not as big as the other one. This determines how much damage you deal to certain tier mobs. So you'll start off here and you'll collect your first armor and stuff, and then it'll unlock all of these trees here, and then it will shoot up. So every time you're killing creatures, it says here, you'll earn fame, which is kind of like your experience, I suppose, in this game. And then it'll say, your damage has increased with tier 3 mobs. So now you can farm them collectively easier than the tier 2 mobs, and then it will go up. So you unlock tier 4, which increases the damage. So you can kill tier 4, tier 5, tier 6 without these. It's just really hard. So it's worth, farming a little bit. This is why, in a minute when I explain corrupted dungeons and stuff, why I'm going to do that, because we can beam through this so quick in corrupted dungeons, enough so obviously every level you do more and more damage. You get a bit of better gear as well. You do more and more damage. It gets easier. So down to the bottom, straight to the south, you've got your farm and stuff. No, your farm and stuff really only happens when you buy an island. So you have to have premium to buy an island, and it is a good money maker. Myself, I've got an island, and I've started growing farms and growing chickens and all that kind of stuff. I find it really boring. I don't see the point in it. The outcome to the input isn't that great unless you're doing it on so many characters. I do it every now and again just to bump up the points, to sort of like a 100% perfectionist kind of thing on the tree. But in my eyes, I can't see the point in it, personally. And then just to the right of the down, you've got all your trainee gathering stuff. So as you train with different items, like you say, where's this one go to? So in 140 points, I'll get access to tier 2 tools. And after I've collectively done the tier 2 tools, I would have earned, 2,250 points. And then I can buy the tier 3 tools. And obviously this helps you farm better trees and better animals and all that kind of stuff when you're skinning. And then, as you can see, halfway or quarter of the way in, you see this bar here. So you can start farming this bar here. And then this bit here means that you can jump grade it, which means you get these learning points. So if you're a premium character, you get 30 a day. If not, you've got to earn them through something that will show up in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll show you in a minute. But basically, you can spend these points to jump it. So if you're at 99 and you've got, 200,000 points here and you need another 800,000 points here, but it says, oh, you can upgrade it for 890 points. You can learn, job done, it jumps. So as a big advice for anyone starting out, I would not use any of these points, these learning points, on anything but gathering. Farming combat is so easy to level up gear. Crafting is just a little bit the same. But actually gathering, this is the only place I spend points on my main account because it is so hard to get. I mean, it's not hard to gather. It's so low fame. So save all of your points, whether you're gathering or not gathering, it doesn't matter. Save all of your points for that because you will eventually want to try it. Excuse me. You will see that it is absolutely horrific to farm fame and you will need them points. So save them and trust me. So you've got your combat done, your island, which you don't need to worry about until you've bought premium, your gathering, your crafting goes off. I'm not going to explain that too much because, excuse me again, because it goes off into, it's simple. You're obviously going to have to gather before you do your crafting, and then the crafting's easy. I will explain it. One second, let me take a drink. Whew, right. So, every item you click on, regardless if you're crafting or not, it will tell you all the stats for it. So it'll tell you what spells you can use, what passive spells you can use, the stats for your HP, your energy, and all that kind of stuff. They'll also give you an estimated item market value. So this is, again, going back to the marketplace of the auction house. This is how much, at the moment, they're potentially going for on the auction house. So if you're crafting to make money, you can gauge it around the items. We click on the helmet there. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Yeah, so different items obviously have different estimated values. You can also go down the list and see that at level 10 you unlock tier 5. Obviously these become a bit more expensive. But you also get exceptional. Can't remember how to look at them. I don't think you can. But yeah, that's the tree pretty much. It goes crafting on the right hand side, island and gathering down south, and then combat on the left. Nice and simple. Don't waste any learning points on anything other than the crafting. Gathering. Gathering. Not crafting, the gathering. So, they're going to try and jump you into a little bit of combat now. So we're going to go and run. So on the map, you can see down here, they've obviously highlighted it for you. So the map as well, if you find it a little bit too like what's going on, you can... Oh, wrong one. Obviously, you can press that button there, or press M, open it up, see what's going on. For anyone as well, you will eventually get into groups and you'll get into PvP, and you'll see people pinging on the map. And you'll be, oh, how's he doing that? Just click on the map. It's that simple. Just click on the map. If I wanted my players, right, focus that there. There you go, excuse me. You just ping, ping, ping. Click on the map, job done. Oh, this is horrific, whatever I've got. Right, hey, oh, there you go. It tells you anyway. You can also auto-attack by targeting an enemy and pressing space. So this is what I highly recommend anyway. Just space and move. It's nice and simple. This will only... I mean, I do it a little bit on ranged, but this will only really count for melee players, swords, axes. Go to the outpost and find and steal the heretic map. There we go. Stand in that circle, job done. So, kill the heretics until you reach the first threshold of combat points, which is this here. So you can extend this out once you get enough. But this is how you're going to see all of your fame and everything you get through the day, whatever you're doing, crafting, combat, whatnot. They become a lot more apparent when I start building up and showing you what we're doing. Because it's going to ask you to craft a little bit more, get some better gear together, and then that's when we can look into what we want to do. So if we just kill these. So it's going to ask you to get to the point of learning. So what it'll do is, so when I was telling you about them books and how not to use them to upgrade something when you really want to, because you can jump it, you get to say 40 points out of 120 and you can jump it, it's 20%. It'll be 20% on absolutely everything. So if you get your crafting to 20%, you can obviously click on it and you can learn, bump, it jumps you up. And that's all it is, that's all it does. So you've now learnt that because it's jumped you in. Basically, you do that, like I say, with everything. So crafting, gathering, PvP, combat, all the fancy crap. As soon as you learn 20% of that weapon or that item or that tool, you can then use the learning points and you can push it all the way to 100%. But and again, strongly recommend that you leave it for the gathering, because it's... I can't express how horrific it is. It's like a nightmare. It takes so long. And you can get books that increase your learning capabilities, but again, they cost so much because they're worth so much because it takes so long. So if there's anything you take from this video at all, it is to use learning points for gathering. Right, so it's going to ask us now, we've got the inventory, to make a set of armour. Go to the Warrior Forge and see what you can craft. So we go to this guy here. We need to make, if you come back out, go to the Hunter's Lodge. So these excuse me, these are now set stores where we can start building actual bits for ourselves. So obviously you've seen before that we were up here and we were going through these guys. So these are the guys where you collect your items and you roll them from raw items into craftable items, or craftable resources, should we say. So you take your raw resources, craft them into actual resources, and then you go to these guys, which you'll find again in big main cities and stuff like that, which can actually craft you the gear for the item. So this, you know, bow needs 32 planks. You know, this Tomb of Spells needs some cloth and some leather, which you can get from obviously cotton and killing animals and So it's up to you where you choose and where you want to start farming. But what we're going to do is we're going to go through for a build for myself, which is going to get you that big fame jump and that big sort of jump into combat. But it's very balanced because it's very easy to play. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to buy a bow because we're going for nature builds. So, as you can see here, where is, and I'll show you properly. So we go for bow. It says 128 silver. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to go out and farm this because it's a little bit expensive. But we're also, because you can mix and match in this, you don't have to go, if I click on this for leather armor, and it'll take me to the helmet, the chest, and the feet. You don't have to go with, you know, helmet, chest, and feet of leather. You can go, I want boots there, and then up here, I believe, is the cloth, and I'll take the chest from that area. You can build however you want. You can have, you know, a mage tank. You can have a tanky warlock. You know, you can have a priest assassin. It's, you build whatever you want. It doesn't matter. There's different items that benefit different things. What we're going to build is like a semi nature damage, semi healer kind of thing, but it attacks quick enough and it spells quick enough for you to do speed runs or for you to just take it slow and learn the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this nature staff here, and obviously into a tier 4 once we've got the fame. We're also going to go for cloth, because we are essentially going to be like a druid. So we're going to go for a cloth chest, and I believe it's a cloth helmet as well. And then we're going to go for some plate boots, because as you'll learn and you'll look at the items, you'll see different bits and bobs, but obviously these increase your movement speed, but they heal you as well, so you've got that little bit of leniency when it comes to you know, fighting and being a little bit scared of what's going on. So we're going to go with some plate boots, so we need some more iron. We're going to go with a bow, so we need some more planks, and we're going to go with, oh, we can craft that, and some cotton, so we need some cotton, some mine, and some thingamajibs, some lumber, that's it. So at the side of each crafting station as well, you go to the Hunter's Lodge here and you've got your weapons. Obviously at the side you can press for your armour, you can check all your tiers, check all your categories, which one you want. Helmet, shoes, whatnot. You can also click a button there, I don't know if you missed it. It just says, show me what I can craft. So you can't misjudge yourself or all that kind of, you know, blah, 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 blah. So if we just go out and farm some more bits and bobs quick. So we just need this guy here. You'll get this in the real world quite often, is especially with good and exceptional gear. You'll find people that will quite happily come up beside you. They're more than entitled to tag your mine or your tree, etc. as well. It's not your right. You've just got to be quick enough. The higher the skill point, so obviously the higher you collect and the more you do, the better you become at collecting lower tier stuff. So for instance, you've gone through the game a little bit, you've chosen that you want to gather and stuff to learn the game. You go for cotton, and then I believe it's, is it flax? Is that tier 4? I'm not quite sure, you'll have to comment and let me know. So once you get to a tier 4 tool, and you end up smashing out flax, I believe, obviously it takes the same time here as we're doing, because we're using a tier 2 tool, or a tier 1 tool on tier 1 items. If you're using a tier 4 tool on tier 1 items, the speed's quicker. You'll also receive more of the item. So it's never a downside to farm lower tier gear, because you can farm it for newbies, etc. as well. And then, like I say, on the map, you go down to wherever, you can see it will farm the area for tier 2 to tier 4 anyway. So it's all a benefit, it's all a money maker. So don't be discouraged with, oh, I'm not going to farm that crap because it's, you know, in my way. You'll get more, and then newbies can buy it. It's all money. Oh yeah, we need to make these first, don't we? You have to bear with me as well, because I purely do I haven't got the trees either, have I? This is a terrible tutorial. We'll get them as well. Let's go and get some wood. Get some bloody wood. What was I going to say? I can't remember now. It obviously wasn't important. Right, let's get some wood. So we're looking at building the bow because we're looking at building the nature. So the way that this nature build is going to work for you guys is the way I do it. Like I said, it's my sort of like safe build because it is also a really cheap build for corrupted dungeons and just general dungeons as well. Don't be discouraged that you have to do corrupted, but corrupted dungeons are safe for tier 5. I know people they'll oh, I don't know how to explain it. Corrupted dungeons is a PvP thing. You jump into a corrupted dungeon. You're not on a time limit, but you're on a like a mob limit. So the more mobs you kill towards 100 or 500 or 2,000 points will then summon a last boss. You kill the last boss, and then it will give you a choice of jumping out of the corrupted dungeon or carrying on, jumping into another one. So you carry on, kind of like a loop. You just repeat it. A different map, of course, it will randomize it for you. But then you jump back into another one. But as you keep jumping back into them, it will increase the rate of which someone else can invade you in a way. So other people can join you for PvP. The good thing about the tier 5 one is that you only get knocked out. So if you're fighting away, someone joins. Someone joins your dungeon. Basically, don't be discouraged. Like, oh fucking hell, I haven't been playing this game long enough to know what to do, and you know he's only going to kill me now anyway. He's only going to knock you out. So if you die in this game, majority of the time you will drop all of your gear. So everything you've worked towards gets dropped, which is why a lot of players will say if you're going into a red zone or a black zone, which is like your pure PvP areas, wear cheap gear and have an escape plan. Where yellow tier or yellow zones are just knockouts. So all they'll do is they'll just charge you a repair bill. So you don't lose anything, you just get teleported back to town. Or if you're in a yellow zone, you'll just get knocked out and then you stand back up and on you go, sort of thing. So they're the best places to learn a bit of PvP, you know, how your items work and all that kind of stuff, but not be too discouraged by, you know, the PvP itself. So we're going to go for the chest. What else did we need? We needed boots, didn't we? So if we go back to this bloke up here, we're going to put them boots on. So as you... So we click on that, gives you the spell. We'll go with that one. Don't worry about what I'm pressing just yet, because it's nothing extreme or anything like that. Doesn't matter at the moment. Click on the cloak. So now, when we attack and we start killing things, these are going to promote because we've chosen the bow, so it's going to open up that whole tree. We've chosen the chest, so it's going to open up, obviously, the boots, the chest, and the helmet. And then we've chosen the boots down here. But I don't know. Yes, we do. So what we need to do... So always look, don't copy what I've just done there, but do copy what I've just done there. Excuse me. So we've got the bow, because that's what we needed to unlock everything else. But as you come down here, obviously it says kill creatures of tier 2 plus whilst wearing a novice soldier's armor or better to unlock these. But where we've gone with a chest for the robe for our nature build, we obviously need to build up the one for the plate so we can wear the boots in the future. So we need another. So I'm just going to buy these from the auction house quick or the marketplace. So we need another 3 copper bars. So we type in copper, and there is none at all. So I kind of do this as quick as possible, but not as quick as possible. But to explain everything, but to not mess anything up. And you know it's bad when you forget some copper and you forget what you're doing. But I do have an excuse, I'm ill, so you have to bear with me. And like I say, I didn't want to edit any of this because I didn't want people to think, because the issue is that I have is when I started joining, I was looking at certain tutorial videos and they'd be at this stage now, for instance, and then all of a sudden it'd edit to 14 years in the future and they're all geared out, they've got 4,000 HP, and I'm well, hold on, where have we gone from here? How do we do that? And that's why most of my videos I like to do just pure raw footage, non-edited videos. So although it's boring and you got to listen to some guy with a cold, you get all of the information. There's nothing I've skipped. So you're never guessing about what potentially happens next. It's all there. So we'll have to use that for later. So we saved the chest for later. So now we've got to do a little bit of PvE again. This is mainly now to start getting off the island and start venturing out to do what you want to do. So, as you can see again, it's marked on the map. So we're just going to go up and round. I'm going to pew some bad guys. So, here we go. So we have to kill these 10 of these guys. So, again, unless you want bow, I mean, I'm explaining how to do a nature build here, but unless you want to learn bows and stuff, you don't really need to know what kind of skills I'm using, because this is only going to be here until, like I say, this reaches 20%. And once they've learned 20% and we've unlocked everything, then it doesn't matter. Oh, right, okay. Three left, nearly done. One more. I'm pretty sure they ask you to blow up these doors. Oh dear, okay. So what you've just seen there is just an aggro loss. So you take the mobs too far out. In this game I've noticed that they don't really have a massive aggro range. So, you know, if you aggro something by accident, don't be discouraged, because it's only 2 meters down the road and you've lost them anyway. So the only big benefit to this game is that they do lose, you know, aggro quite quick, which is nice. But it's also, it can be very downsidey, if that's a word. So signal the ship. Don't worry about these guys. And then this gives you your access to Albion Online. So this is essentially the end to your tutorial. This is an accept. Go. So it asks you to talk to this guy. So this is where you choose a city now. Now, it doesn't really matter where you go. I've got, you know, different characters all over the place, because you can always teleport or run to another place and set that as your home base as well. So if you forget or you want to choose another settlement or whatever, you can do. So it's no big issue. But for me, I like to start in Forest Cross, because this is the home to Limhurst, which is where I always started. So after you speak to this guy, thank you very much, accept. You speak to the royal dude front, and I believe, there you go. You get 3 days premium, so everything's now a little bit more upgraded. We get 50% more fame points and all that kind of fancy stuff. There you go. So what is premium? It's just there for you to understand. So this is where we start getting down to the real business now. So I'm not going to do the crafting or the gathering, and I'm not going to do anything magical. I'm literally going to jump into your combat. So this is where you would start in your combat stage. So on the map, Where are we? So I've come from Forest Cross and coming up. So Lyndhurst is your main city, okay? And then you've got tier 4 around it and tier 5 in the future and tier 6, etc. You've got world bosses. But for the minute, as you can see on the map, it will tell you kind of like where you can go with the arrows, refuge to Lyndhurst. So you get little places like this on the map. Heretic Cellar Network. It'll tell you how many people are in there, so current, very low. But these are also places where a lot of mobs can spawn. But what we're going to do is we're going to run to Lyndhurst, which is going to be a bit of a long, achy ball lake. A long, achy ball lake? We're going with it. It's a long, achy ball lake. Because we're going to jump. I know I said before about the adventurer stats, which is this one here for combat, and doing more damage to tier 3 and tier 4, etc. But again, with the tutorial build that we're doing, leading up to the big build for Corrupted Dungeons and such, we've got a few bits of CC, so we can kill, tier 4 mobs, which are going to give us a bit more fame, which means we're going to be able to level a little bit quicker, and then we can jump straight into it. So, because also as well, with some of the tutorial spots, they'll say, right, okay, guys, that's done. What I've done now is I've just bought all this gear for my character, but obviously we can't. So I'm going to show you how to get the gear for your character, because there's no point in me jumping on my main, giving him 1,000,000, and then going, right, guys, this is all you need, is a 120k build, and away you go. Because, well, one, you haven't got 120k. Two, how do you get 120k? So, like I say, this is how we're going to jump into it. So we've jumped straight out of the north of the dungeon into a tier 5 zone by accident. Not a tier 4 zone, but it doesn't matter. Because these are the mobs we're going to kill. We're just going to kill every random mob. So just take your time. Because these are going to give us the big XP for the minute. Okay, so there you go. There's your fame. You get your fame up your head anyway. You also get keys. So keys, again, are an important one. So keys work towards this, which is your harvest challenger. Different challenges, but basically these are your daily bonuses, this here. So this one here, Adept Tomb of Insight, once you use it, it'll give you 10,000 combat fame. And obviously, if you check now, we only need 5,000 for a full tier. What's this guy trading me? I don't know, thank you. Appreciate it, but no thank you. So as you can see there, we can't farm that thin hide because we need a better skinning knife, which is the one just above what we've got. But all we're doing at the minute, I'm really sorry for the sneezing and the sniffing, and so we're just going to kill these guys. Although they're tier 5, I wouldn't worry too much. Although I'm starting to worry a little bit. No, see, yeah, you get guys that join in. So anyone can attack, like I say, it does get a little bit annoying sometimes. It's not, the worst thing in the world, but... So, here we are. So we're at 100 points already, because that's what they give you when you get your premium. So we are, I know, I know I said don't spend any of these points, but we are going to spend some of these points just to jump you into the game, okay? So listen to everything I say and nothing I've said. So we're going to bump up the Journeyman Fighter, bump up the chest. There we are. So what we're going to do now, after listening to everything I've said and nothing I've said, is we're going to go just have a quick look on the auction house to see how much and what is what. Another big tip I can wholeheartedly say, which I'll show you in a minute, no doubt, because we won't be able to afford anything, is rough stone, although you're collecting it at the beginning and it is a pile of crap, actually sells really well on the auction house because everyone needs it for island building. So for when you buy an island, you're going to need to build your buildings, obviously, and whatever you want to build, you're going to need stone to build the buildings. So in Limhurst, every city will be different. You got this guy here, which is your island seller. Get premium, requires 4 days or more. So they make you buy 30 days in a way. Excuse me. You'll also have one guy, which is down here. Again, they'll be in different areas. This is your repair guy, also your salvage guy. So if you find good bits of loot and you want to salvage for raw materials, if you want to just repair your gear. Most auction houses or marketplaces are in a building with a glowy door. And obviously you can see all the people here. So what we're going to try and do quickly is reset everything and just sell what we've got. So we're just going to sell that. There you go. So you see rough stone's still selling really well. So we'll repair that and sell that on because we don't want that. Repair that, sell that on. Repair that, sell that on. Because like I say, I'm not crafting, or we're not crafting here, so we don't need any of this. So we can just get rid of all this. I can't even sell that one. That's sold. Well, we didn't need that in the end, which is quite nice. So we're going to go to buy. So you got your tabs down here. So buy, sell. You can create buy orders for whatever you want if you want to just leave it overnight. Your orders, so they will come down here. This is what you're selling, and this is what you're buying. And then loadouts. So you can create a loadout if you right click on your character portrait, go to loadouts, and then you can create. Yep, okay, cool, call that. And basically, if you want to quick buy a set item from the auction house, so you've got a set of gear, you really like it, all you've got to do is, let's say, yep, oh, that was really good when I did that, and, you know, this was really good when I was playing it as well, and then you can save it, and then when you go to the auction house, like we've just done there, you click loadouts, you select the one you've just searched, it will, I know it won't do it now, but what it will do is it will drop a list down and it will say, right, your helmet's going to cost this much, the chest is going to cost this much, their weapon's going to cost this much. There's a button down here that just says buy the whole set and equip it. And it's that simple, it's that easy. So it's a really nice functional button. So we're going to go for, because we've just upgraded to tier 3. So this is what we're going with. We want cloth armor. I'll tell you what we want first, before we do anything. Is we want the magic nature staff. So 3,000. So we're going to buy that. What else can we buy while we're here? Plate shoes, can we buy them? Yeah, we'll buy them as well. So this staff, once we get to tier 4, this is how we're going to be creating mad amounts of bits and bobs. And I am just going to push it along a little bit because I am taking absolutely forever about this video. So now we've got the tier 3 nature staff, we can start attacking a bit clearer now because this is where we get all of our spells and all of our easier bits and bobs. So I'm going to see. Can we jump into? I'll tell you what, I'll see if we can find. Come on, let me back into the city, please. If we can find a tier 4 dungeon instead, because there's not many people doing them. So if we equip them boots, we're going to want to go with this one because it increases your movement speed and heals you. This one's just a jumpy jump, like a load up to a speed. Increase your max load, which you don't need, your defense, which you do need. This one, like I said, is healing, which you can do, but this is your main attack. This is your main damage. This is what we're working towards, this one here. This one's like a AoE kind of jumpy jump. I know I'm explaining these very well, and I'm going to explain this one even better now. So when you've got 3 doopy dupes, you use this for a doopy dupe, and it will root and heal and damage at the same time. And I'll explain all that when we actually do some fighting in a minute. Oh, right. Where are we going? So we're gonna wanna do the biddy baddy Buddha. So dungeons never show up on your map. So if you're looking down below, you'll never find one. But we can attack all of these. So these are our spells. Our Q is our main one. Okay, so we're gonna pop. and we can use this 3 times before it resets. And that's just going to, over time, that will damage him while he's in it, right? But it also leaves a debuff, which means that our auto attacks become a bit more empowered. So every time we attack them, whilst they have that debuff, we deal more damage as well. And then, like I said, we put them in. So our ultimate pops them down, roots them, and damages them at the same time. So we're going to leave it like this, and then our W throws the thing in the air, pops them up. So, as I said, for the healing, obviously we've got the sprint, so it's healing us a little bit as we're going. So we just keep attacking, keep dropping Qs and Ws. You'll get used to how it works and the build and all that kind of stuff as you're going along. So these here, once they drop, they're just items, just random items. You don't know what you got until you pick it up. An Adept Relic and a Fire Staff. As you can see, these are leveling up with us. Again, I want you to listen to everything I've said and nothing I've said, because we're going to put points into that as well. Because we need to get into corrupted dungeons or dungeon finding as quick as we can. You can do this at your own pace, obviously, because you're new, so it's not a big issue. So there we are. So you've learnt that whole tree now. So what I mean by that is that you now will start leveling up from tier 4. You wear tier 4 items, regardless of which boots they are, to unlock tier 10. So the more fame you get, the more they jump in levels. So it'll be up here. Once you get to level 10 out of 100, you can obviously unlock tier 5. Tier 30 is tier 6. But depending on which boot you use, you'll also get down at the end of the tree, there's a specialty. So for instance, we're going to be using soldier boots. So we'll go from the soldier boots here, and every time they level up, these will level up a little bit slower, but it'll increase the item power of the plate boots, and also keep this, it'll increase a specialist bonus. So when you see people running around with tier 4 items on, and what people mean when they mean tier 0.41 is they mean tier 0.4 like this, but it's green, and a tier 0.4.2 is a tier 4 blue item, and tier 4.3 is tier 4 an epic item. So there we are. That's all that done. That's really it for exceptional and stuff items. So like I said, we're gonna learn all of these. So these are just what we learnt before. So this just opens up the tier 4. So I know that we've just bought the tier 3, but we're going to jump back into town now because we find that, I know I've been lucky, we found a nice item. Just keep killing mobs until you've got enough money. It's not a big issue. I think I might kill a few more actually, because I don't know how much tier 4 is going to cost. And like I said, we're not giving this alt any money. We're going to do it pure. As you can see, I'm skipping all these mobs because they're not really going to drop anything. But what we want is undead monsters like this, because they're going to chance drop, and then they're going to drop coins for us as well. So as you can see already, the potential there for like AoE farming and speed farming, even at level 3, is quite high just off the bat. There you go. So we've unlocked Master Achievements and Master Achievements. So we now deal, as you can see, more damage to tier 4 items, or tier 4 creatures, sorry. And we've also unlocked this big boy in the middle. So we can now use tier 3 capes, bags, and we can get tier 3 horses. Now we're working towards tier 4 stuff. So that's the one that will level up by itself slowly and terribly and all that magical jazz. So let's hop back into town quick and see if we can buy some tier 4 bits and bobs. Because if we can jump straight in, and I'll show you guys how to do the corrupted dungeon stuff. And it's literally going to be a repeat farm thing, but it will give you the insight into how it all works. I don't personally think dungeons are worth the time and effort. I think your expeditions are, But the dungeons, solo dungeons on their own, I personally don't think so. I think your corrupted dungeons, they open you up to so much more. Because there's a slight risk in them, it's kind of worth it in a way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back down here. We're going to sell everything we've got again. Lovely, lovely. Yep, we'll just sell that. We need to just get rid of that. That's horrific. So we're going to go for tier 4 now, as you can see. Magic. Nature, that's what we're playing. So, as you can see, this one's brown and that one's silver. So if you look, it says the quality is good and the item power is 720. But if we drop down to this one, it's outstanding and it's 740. So it's a little bit better for only a fraction of the price. And obviously you can determine the quality here. Excellent, masterpiece. But we're just going to go obviously with a cheap one. We're actually going to upgrade to that one a little bit. We also, so these are the 4 items you're going to need, are cloth helmet. So, and these are going to get pricey along the way. So, where are we? What are we doing? Plate shoes. So we go soldier. No. I tell you what we can do. We can go for guardian, and this is because if you get invaded and you fancy that bit of PvP, you can swap your healing one over for this one, which increases your max current health by 100% and your move speed. Can't be purged, can't be disarmed, can't be bloody-blad. But if you want to fight, this gives you a better chance. So I'll tell you what, and they're cheaper, we'll go with the Guardian boots instead. We'll work towards them. Can we buy anything else? Because we're going to need to buy cloth armour. So we're going to need to buy a Druid robe. And we're also going to need to buy a Cultist helmet, which these are the big ones. But for the meantime, the mage one will do pretty much the same thing. So we'll go with the run and the defense again. Jump back on our horsey horse. Oh, I'll tell you what, we can... What am I doing, man? Let's sell this back on. Sell that back on. And let's buy a mage helmet. As you can see, there's a better one there for the same price. So this one's going to give us an AoE of fire. So it's like a cone of fire. These ones are also going to reduce your cast time and increase your damage, depending on what you pick. You don't need cast time. We're going to need full damage, though. So we'll attach that. We also need an offhand. So what we're going to go with is the cheapest one we can find. Tier 2, Tier 3. So, we can't unlock them, so we'll have to see what unlocks them. Because we want to go with this bad boy here, which is a Musiak, which increases everything you do. Although the ability cost goes down, but the healing, it's the healing and the magical damage and the physical damage that you want. So that's really good. So what we want is we need to upgrade our mage. So kill everything with a fire staff. So it tells you what you need to do anyway. So don't be discouraged if you can't find anything or you miss something or whatnot and whatnot. So here we go. Bloody hell, this is taking a while. Right, but where we've got the tier 4 staff and the tier 4 boots, that's our helmet, that's our healing and damage, apart from the chest. We should be able to jump into something now. So let's see what we got. Oh, actually, I'll tell you something that might be able to get us going quite quick. Is if we can find the mists. So when I say mists, there's little balls like you've just seen there around the map. And all you've got to do is wake them up to enter a mist land. So we'll see if we can find one, if we can't find a corrupted dungeon first. I can hear one. Where is it? I can hear something. 'Cause 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 Okay, it might have just been the right corrupted dungeon. We are not fit for that dungeon. As you can see, you require 800 out of 800 to enter the zone. So the blue, all of these corrupted dungeons are available in blue, yellow. They are available obviously in red and black as well, but in hunter form, which is like your semi PvE PvP. Excuse me. The hunter is your knockdown one, so you don't die. So as you can see there, we've upgraded it to stalker, so you need more items. Enemies are tier 6, so they're harder to kill. PvP results in death, where in hunter, PvP results in knockdown. So you just get kicked out of the dungeon. So like I say, it's good for like learning PvP. It's also good for learning the PvP, the PvE, sorry. And obviously gear gathering, all that kind of stuff. Fame farming. All the snazzy jazzy stuff. So all we're doing at the moment is, like I say, you can't see on the map dungeons and stuff. You've got to look for them, which is a bit of a pain. But we're looking for a ball of light, just so we can enter the mists. And this is kind of a good way to jump up your fame to begin with, along with this book here. But we'll show you that in a minute when we get it. Is there anything around? Anyone? So these here, the big blue ones, they're group dungeons. So there are people who can solo them, but just for the painstaking explanation, you obviously need a group of 5 people. Healer, tank, 3 DPS. You could potentially do 4 DPS in a healer. Most people ask for a certain amount of item level. Same as every game, you've got to be geared enough-ish to be able to do it. Dungeons can also be upgraded. So there's scrolls. There's also you just randomly finding them. They'll show on the dungeon with green butterflies outside. And there'll be, like for good dungeons, sorry, there'll be blue butterflies for like an exceptional good dungeon just floating outside the dungeon. And I don't think I've seen a tier 3, so a purple one. Maybe they're around, maybe they aren't. We will never know because I doubt I'll find one. Oh, come on now, where are you? There's got to be one around here, surely. Surely there's one around here. This is mad. It was actually the longest it's ever taken me to find the mists, because they're normally everywhere. Oh, here we are. Right, so these are solo dungeons, your green dungeons. We'll jump in this one instead. It should be doable. So you'll have to be careful when you jump in these as well, because, I mean, you can normally tell if they're starting to be cleared, because there'll be a mob at the front. But obviously other people can jump into these as well, and it's just kind to not jump in and ruin their dungeon if they've already kind of claimed it. If you're feeling a bit ruthless, you can just say, you know, whatever, it's mine now, I'm better than you. You can also turn on your PvP to kill them or knock them out, which is this button here. Click to change to hostile. Takes about 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then you can, you know, ruthlessly attack them if you want. So as you can see, the Q that we use in our main spell, you just hover it over the mobs, and then just auto attack. That's all the main skill is. That I've just picked up there is the pots that you'll find around the dungeon. They just do random stuff. One of them heals you. This one increases my movement speed and mob damage. So this will be a bit easier. Here we go. There goes another one there. I don't think they're as frequent as that most of the time. So all of these spells, they're done with just a touch of a button, like that fire breathing one that you've just done there. That was just D, and that's your helmet. There you go. I mean, that's how good like this build is built up to be. Right, so these guys are bosses. The guys you'll find next to a chest. So just be careful when fighting these. Don't try and do it in half HP like I've just done, because I'm probably going to die now. Oh, this is what's good about this build as well. You've got your speed, you've got your heal, so it's not detriment that you need to run away straight away. So most bosses like this, and end bosses, they'll give you a chest. Blue is obviously exceptional, so this is 4.2, and then it depends what you get inside. So you'll always get a bit of cash. These runes, there's a guy in town who will accept these to help you build parts of items. And the parts of items I'm referring to are the exceptional stuff. I say exceptional stuff, they're just the better stuff. So if we click on this one here, you can see that it takes this. So it takes your standard resources, sorry. So it takes your wood, it'll take your cloth, but then it'll take this item here, which is built from the runes, the souls, and then the relics. So I think you need 50 of each or 100 of each, depending on the tier, depending on the item as well. It might be more, might be less. Excuse me. Oh my god, I'm dying here. Proper man flu going on. So we just keep killing these, earning a bit of money. So there you go, 4,000 straight out the bag. So what we'll do is if we do this dungeon first, so there you go. So we've done the daily, that's the daily there, adepts. So we claim that, thank you very much. And then we won't use this until we get our chest and our offhand. Otherwise we're just wasting fame, because once we use it, the book's gone. But it will give you 10,000 fame for every item that you've got on at the current time. Or it will give you fame for everything you're equipped at the time. So, for instance, if you accidentally have something else equipped and use the tomb, it'll obviously increase that item, but not anything in your inventory. So if it's not equipped and it's down here, items like these will not be increased by fame. Come on, die, die, die. There we go. Nice and easy. Just take it easy, keep moving. So as you can see, I mean, the build itself is relatively good at the moment because you can just attack and move, attack and move. There we go. So before when I said about the tree and you specialise in an item, this is what I mean. So if we open this up now, you can see that the Boots Fighter is for the whole system. But then I've also got this one here, which is a Guardian one. So I'm leveling this up. So this will give me 0.2, but there's 100 levels, so you know, obviously it comes up massively. But this increases your item's speciality, which can obviously happen with every item in the game. Again, which is why I repeat that you will see people in end game areas with tier 4 items smashing it around because they've got like 100 out of 100, and the specialty items go up to 120. So, you know, you get someone that's got plate boots at 100 out of 100 and then a specialty item 120 out of 120. It's going to be worth more than, say, a tier 6 or a tier 7 item, not in price value, but in damage value, and its, you know, valuability to you playing that at the time, sort of thing, if that makes any sense, what I've just said. Oh, oh! These orbs hurt, man. Right, we'll heal up. This is another one, as you can see. We're going up slowly in the damaging, so we're nearly at tier 5. These are the ones you can't jump. You can't learn these ones, so you'll have to do them, unfortunately. Ooh, bloody close that one. Right, here we go, here we go. Right. That's enough for that. There's a lot of dodging in this game, just so you know, and things do hit very, very hard. So just be on the lookout for doing this at this stage. You don't have to jump into a dungeon like I've done. I'm just trying to show you as quick as I can, kind of thing, because, like I say, I'm doing it with raw footage. It's kind of going to take its time, and I don't want to be in dungeons forever and the video go on for years and years. But you can obviously do the fame farming and getting your money up a little bit outside of the dungeon, just with random mobs. Take your time, because there's no rush. You know, there's no massive end game that you're going to be missing out on. So just, yeah, take it easy, take your time, learn the game, learn the build, and then you'll see that certain items do certain things. You'll end up coming up with your own builds, and it's nice and easy. It really is. It's just like any game. You've got to learn what you're building, what you're playing with, and how you're doing it. There we go. This spinning thing as well, the spinning thing around him is the debuff that you get for the extra auto attack damage. So don't be discouraged that he's going to do some fancy stuff. As you can see, it's happening on all of their mobs now. So as you can see, she's got 5, so I've got 5 auto attacks that increase my damage. 4, 3, obviously the debuff doesn't last forever. There we go. So this, when you see this symbol here, this is the last boss. This is job done kind of stuff. As you can see, we're against a boss. So here we go. So you can attack normally 2 or 3 times before you need to place another one in a boss fight. So you place 1, 2, 3, place another one. 1, 2, 3. We had to run away there. So place 1, 1, 2. God, I have to keep running. This is not working out as explained. So place 1, 1, 2, place another one. 1, 2, place another one. 1, 2, hit him with the W. Hit him with some fire. Place another one. 1, 2, place another one. 1, 2. And as you can see, because we can heal, because we can run, and we can mess around, we're kind of at a ranged. We've got an advantage straight away to killing bosses, killing AoE mobs, all that kind of fancy stuff. Right, so we've been given a really good drop here. I say really good because obviously you're brand new, and that is estimated as a healing staff at 35 grand, plus your 4 grand, and then these are your relics that can help you build all the fancy stuff. So once you finish the dungeon, if you press A, it will teleport you back out of the dungeon. And then what we can do is we can jump out, and we can have a gander at some proper loot. So I know that's happened quite luckily for me there. So there you go, there's the wisp there, that you jump into the mists. So as you're running around, if you get stuck in areas like this, like on the top of the map, and you don't want to run, you can press R. Now this is a cost of silver, so 481. We're going to use it just to show you, and it will teleport you back to the main city that you've been in. So as you can see there at the bottom, I can't put my mouse over it, it says destination, silver cost, 2 regions. So you're not jumping anything, you're going back to Lyndhurst, and it's going to be a 1-minute cooldown. So there you are, jumps you straight in. So what we're going to do now is we've got the fancy stuff. We're going to go back to the marketplace, because this is essentially your vendor. You don't have a vendor to sell crap to, you just sell all your crap on the marketplace at the auction house. So you refresh everything, repair that, right, sell on, sell. Everything adds up for the minute. So that's worth 32 and 37. So we're just going to set it for 32 because we're only showing you guys what's going on. And what we're going to do now is we're going to buy the Druid robe, which is the one we wanted from the beginning, which is that one there. Whilst we're here, we're going to buy a bag. Can we buy a tier 4 one yet? No, we can't. So we'll buy a tier 3. Just for the minute. So bang, bang. So this Druid one, this is where your damage comes from. So you get a burst of power whenever you cast a spell. And obviously you can cast 3 spells with your Q straight off the bat. This stacks 6 times and lasts for 10 seconds. So it increases your damage by 6% up to 6 times. So it's 36% extra damage along top your 40% extra damage, which you get from the stats, and then along top your extra 8% that you get from extra damage. So whenever you come to big boss fights or you need that extra pump of damage, you're going to press that and then you're just going to pop all your spells. It lasts 10 seconds, so you can get your Q off 6 times for that to pump up, and then you press all your other buttons. So you'll get more damage out of your fire breathe, you'll get more damage out of your circle of life and your bramble seed. So that's your main build now, okay, apart from the offhand, which we haven't got yet, which is Musiak, which is, yeah, we're just 2 grand up. Well, we're not. We can use that right there, and we can grab that. And then what we do is we click that item there to equip that, because what we're going to do is we're going to tier 3. What's the tier 3 item? I forgot what it's called now. Join in Tomb of Spells. Tomb. Offhand. 730. There we go. So all we're going to do is we're going to equip. Oh yeah, we've got it equipped. I was wondering where it went then. We've equipped it. Whew. So we're just going to earn this quickly, very quickly. We'll run outside, we're going to find a few mobs, we're going to jump that up to 20% quick, and then just... we should be good to go. There we go. Right. This is where funky stuff starts happening now. There we are. We've just upgraded to tier 4 cloaks and mounts and all the magical stuff. So we've got this point here, so we can pop that in there. We can go back to our adept staff. We can equip this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use this book to bump that up. And then we learn that. So now we can use our Musiak. So that, I'm going to say it is your full build, but it's not your full build because you don't have a cloak. The cloaks do help. So once you get to tier 4, you got all these different cloaks. So the one we've got at the moment is just this one. It just max energy increase. But each city has their own cloak, and then each dungeon has their own cloak. So for Bridgewatch, it will slow you down in a sandstorm. For Limhurst, it'll increase your energy once you drop to a certain percentage. For Thetford, this is the one we want, which is the chain lightning effect, which is just a jump of damage across 4 people. Like, if you look at the market, this is why I'm not going to farm it too much, because it's 70 grand. But that, once you get the Thetford cape, that's your full build. And then what you need to do now is you need to spend the next... oh, let me see. I'd say a couple of hours, 1 or 2 hours, maybe 3, depending on how long you want to play for, because we're going to stop here. Just doing them solo dungeons or jumping into the mists. I'll tell you what, I'll show you the mists quick, because otherwise you're thinking, oh, what are these bloody balls of energy you're talking about, you an idiot. So we've gone over basic crafting. We weren't really going to do that. We've gone over basic gathering. That's nice and simple. The combat's your main one, because the point of the whole game. I can hear one. I can hear one. Where is it? Honestly, the deception of these bloody mists. So, should have just jumped in one when I found one. Oh, where are you? I can hear you. I can hear you. No, I can't. Come on, give me something. Anything. Oh, I can hear one. There it is. Right, so these are the wisps. So all you've got to do is just follow them for a little second. And then they'll open up into a portal like that. And then what you need to do is just kill everything around it because they're going to interrupt you. Is just jump in. So it's a yellow zone, so it's a safe zone. There's going to be a little bit of PvP, but nothing. You don't have to engage in it unless you want to. So this is where your big fame happens for a little bit, if you want it to. Is these people's. So you just go around killing all of the outside mobs. There's no dungeons in here because it is its own dungeon, I suppose. But then you get these big mobs here. Oh. So we're just going to kill everything. So these mobs here that you see with the red sort of harness and power are empowered mobs. And these will drop a lot more loot and a lot more XP, a lot more fame. As you can see there, 4,000 just for killing that, and 1,200 silver. So this is going to bump up all of our stuff very quickly. And these will be found all over the mists. But the main thing you want to jump into the mists for, if I can find them, which you will find them, as you can see, they're leveling up quick in the mists. Do this until you've got all your gear. So you've got 800 item power, which is this here, 800 for corrupted dungeons. That's all you need to work towards. Or, to be honest, you can just stay in the mists. There's very good fame in the mists. All of your crafting is in the mists as well. You have mobs all the way up. You have every resource in here to farm perfectly. You also get little events, as you can see on the map. So there's a small treasure chest there. I'll see if there's anyone going towards it, because they drop quite a fair bit of loot. Excuse me. Oh, there's another chest that's just dropped there on top of my head. But this one unlocks in 20 seconds, so we'll see if there's anyone around. If there's no one around, there might be a free chest. Is there someone here? So there's no one here, but just be careful. Oh, here we are. Oh, and he's gone with the same thing I have. So we can PvP this guy if you want. Because it's a purple chest as well, so it's an epic chest. So... Okay, so I think this guy's quite new, because he's not really doing anything to sort of on me out with this, but this other guy coming in now is probably going to tear him apart, because he looked quite... Yeah, so he's playing Curse, so it's quite a dangerous one to begin with. Oh, it's just got excited. Imagine that. Can we open this now while he's run away? Yes, we can. So we're in. So we loot all of this real quick. And then we run away. Oh, wait. Are we going to jump out of PvP before it ends? Or is he going to kick me? So once you die in here, you get kicked out of the mists itself. So as you see, you were knocked down, but nothing happened. All it does is it kicks you out of the mist. But, like I say, with them chests, we managed to get ourselves 2 Adept Tome of Insight. So this is a Combat Fame book, which also sells quite nicely. 8 bags of 10,000 silver, so 80,000 silver. You also get 4 books which you can't trade, but which you can use. And then all this random crap which just sells for whatever. Oh, I'm so sorry you have to hear that, guys. I really am. But this also means that we can jump back into town, which is just down the road, and we can buy the cape. I mean, to be honest, I have been a little bit lucky. Oh, really, really sorry. Yeah, I've been a little bit lucky with a few of the drops. They're not massive. You will get drops yourself which work out much better than what I've got. These is just little helping items kind of thing. So don't look too much into it as you got really lucky, because it's really not. It's not that hard. They're not. If it wasn't that much to begin with, if that makes sense. So we're just going to repair up. So we've got all of our items. This is the build you will use literally forever, if you want it to be. This is a build I use in Corrupted Dungeons, in the Mists, in PvP sometimes. So refresh everything. Go to sell. We're going to sell that, that, that. Oh, I'm really sorry. Oh, where's my drink? 2 seconds, guys. Apologies. Oh, oh, blimey. Okay. So as you can see, these sell for 15 grand each. Sacrificial daggers, 22 grand each. Golden crown, 22 grand. Sell all the runes and the relics and the souls. And as you can see, you're already up to 108 grand. So the next thing we're going to buy, like I said, oh, extremely sorry. Oh, it's killing me. Right, is the Thetford Cape as we're going to go for. So this deals magical damage. I am so sorry. It deals magical damage and it will jump between a few people. So we put that on. We can also upgrade our mule if we want. So we just take that off. Undo that. We get a better bag as well. We go for a tier 4 bag. It increases the LP, which is what we're going for here. Oh, sorry, excuse me again. I bet it sounds absolutely awful with me speaking like this, doesn't it? If you're not bored already. Right, so it's the item power we're going for because we want to be able to do corrupted dungeons. So now we go down to mounts. And we just buy. So the ox itself is more of a Garen thing because you can carry the weight load. So there, the max load is kilos and kilos and kilos. We're just looking for a horsey, so if we type horse, it'd be a lot easier, I reckon. There we go. So you might be asking yourself, well, you've got full gear there. Why is that not increased? So what we're going to do is when you go back out, you do dungeons, you do mists, you're going to go back to the armor you're creating, and you're going to be going for. My voice is starting to go as we're speaking. This is horrible. Yeah. So what we're going for is obviously the Druid robe. So we've got good. The item power is nice. So what we're going to do is once we've got enough money and we've been out and we've farmed, is we're going to enchant it. And what I mean by enchanting is you don't have to do anything enchanting. Someone's already enchanted it, and there you go, 820. So what it does is these are like your upgradations. These are the upgraded versions of themselves. So green is good, blue is exceptional, and they jump 100 points each time. 3 is epic. There you go, you jump another 100 points. And 4 is, I haven't read too much into 4. I think it's pristine or prestige or something like that. Costs an absolute bomb, but I've never been interested in it. So what you'll do is for your 800 to get into Corrupted Dungeons, just go for tier 1 or tier 2. Don't spend too much money. As you can see, it's not a lot to build the whole set anyway. So then that's all you need to do. So you'll upgrade the weapon, you'll upgrade the armor. So magic, nature staff. As you can see, there's different nature staffs, but we're going with the one that will help us out the most. It's the most balanced, plus you can use the offhand for more damage, more healing. So if we just go for nature, as you can see, it's not even on. Oh, it's up here. There we go. So it's 38 grand, but obviously it's 920 over our 720. And obviously, with the increased item power, you'll get increased damage from spells, you'll get increased healing from spells, and that's it. It's as simple as that. That's how the combat works. That's how you can gather your money. That's how, you know, the fame on this system works, is this will go up automatically, this will go up automatically, and then you work towards whatever you are wearing, and then that will wear into the speciality as well. So for instance, we've got the helmet on, we've got mage helmet on, you know, we're so close to the speciality rewards, which means we get bonus item power, which means we get bonus power for the actual item itself. And that's it, guys. That's all you need to do. That's the tutorial. That's hopefully an insight into everything you can do in the game, in the terms of like just starting out. And I'm hoping that build there, like I say, it's something I use myself every day for farming, speed running corrupted dungeons. That will help you into just farming some cash and then deciding where you actually want to go from there. Just take a look at the items on the tree as you're going along. What do you want to build? I'd quite like to go assassin. Okay, so don't just look at the assassin jacket, because Hellion's probably your better one. But just look at the spells, see what they do. Each jacket has a different something something. Each helmet has a different something something. You know, all the spells are different, so you can mix and match. You can make one-shot builds. You can make hardened tank builds. You can make easy priest builds. You can build whatever you want. That's the brilliance of this game, is you can build however you want. You can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. And you know, you can PvP however you want. There's arenas, there's outdoor PvP, there's guild PvP, there's raids. You've got the whole thing there. Don't be discouraged by people in chat asking you, you know, telling you, oh, well, you can't be doing yellow zones. You have to be doing red and black to get your time's worth and your money's worth. That's complete rubbish. As you can see there, you know, we were in the open world there for 20 minutes, if that, and you know, we're 200 grand up with a full set and a bit of money left over. There's 80 grand there I haven't used. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's all you got to do, guys. I'm hoping I went through absolutely everything there for new people that are just joining or coming back, that can help you with absolutely whatever you want to do. I'm hoping it works. Take my advice and don't take my advice is the only advice I can give you. So until next time, guys, I'm sorry you've had to put up with the coughing and the snorting and the sniffing. I'm terribly ill, but I hope it's helped. So until next time, I will see you all later. Bye bye.